Hey, welcome back to Shane's Main Shop. Today, we're working with Sheet Goods, building this tiny trailer. And if you're interested in the tiny trailer, you can go to our other channel, Life the Wild Ride, and see how it's built and what we're doing. But when you're trying to carry sheet goods, I think you can probably see both of us. But Tracy here, kind of wet your fingers, and it's a bitch to, carry it. It takes two of you. You can get it, but let's say you didn't have anybody, and you didn't have any help, and you're trying to do this by yourself. This is 3/4 inch birch cabinet grade plywood. It's fairly heavy, but it's mainly awkward. There's no way of really getting this thing and moving it around on your own. Then you can get it up overhead possibly, but if you're by yourself, how do you do it without dragging it and really screwing yourself up and messing your back up? Well, it's this handy dandy sheet good handler. And this thing is just super, super helpful if you're doing this stuff alone. Or even if you have two people. All you have to do, one person job. See, she's trying to help. It's got a little slot in it, I'll show you in a minute. Basically just lift up the plywood, slide it in, then you can just kind of slide it where you want it, and you kind of want it in the middle, and you probably can't see that. But then you just have to one hand on this like this, reach down, grab the handle, and you're good to go. Now you can carry this thing around by yourself with very little difficulty. So if you're handling a lot of sheet goods, I highly recommend a sheet goods carrier like this. And let me just get a little closer and see what it is, and I'll put a link for that in the description as well. And to get it out, again, you can do it by yourself. Just want to reiterate, this is if you're working alone. If you have two people, of course it's easier. You can either slide it up or just lift it all like that. Now I will ask you to hold the sheet. So let me just show you this a little bit closer. You see what we're using here. It's got a groove down here for the sheet goods to fit in, handle, and then it tips out so when it's up against the sheet goods, you're not pinching your finger, you have some space here. And that's really all it is. Simple as that. So yeah, hopefully you like this. Please like, subscribe, comment. Come back often for more videos. But I'll put a link for this down in the description. And if you are handling a lot of sheet goods, definitely something I highly recommend. I don't know, there's no brand name on this or anything. I don't think that's super important. Just get one or even make you one yourself will help you out a lot. All right, have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Well, welcome back to Life the Wild Ride. Now, I don't know if this is video 4 or 5, whatever. I lost track because I'm really doing this in between a lot of other projects and kind of intermittently. But as you can see, it's kind of jumped along. I will be dismantling it all. We just got these 3 sides in place, so there's 2 sides in the front to get everything all lined up and get my angles good, make sure we're all good before I actually permanently fasten everything down. But let me just show you what we were doing in order to get this. You can see there's no door openings or anything yet. But we do have all that factored in here. And I don't know if you'll be able to see the angles. You probably can see, but you can see some lines here. This represents the first bulkhead wall for the kitchenette back here, and then there's a second one here and a little shelf that will actually be inside the living area. This wall comes up and kicks over. The bed will be down underneath here with space for your feet. We're short, so probably won't even use that space, but we'll want the mattress to open all the way up. It's a queen mattress. Probably hard to see, but further down is the door. It says door right there. We got all that measured. And then we have also way on the end there, the drawing for the bed / when it's folded up to a couch. I just want to get everything all drawn out before we even put it together. So that was all drawn out on that piece of plywood before we even did any cuts. And the only cut right now is that one angle cut up there you see. There'll only be a door cut after that, and maybe something back here to finish off the back. The front, we did a lot of calculating to make sure if we wanted to sit on the couch when it was all folded up there, that our head was not hit, and the couch will bring us out some, which our heads will be closer to the higher point anyway. And it's not like a regular couch, it's one of those 4-section folding queen mattresses that'll be kind of a couch. And we have room that an AC will be going right there as well. We will have a door on both sides. And I know I talked about because right now this floor is in, but we don't have the cutouts to the storage area underneath. And because the center one's where our feet would go if we sit on the side with a table in the middle. You'll see all this coming up in the future as I build this thing. But today I think it's going to be dismantle. Now that I got these three in place where I want them, dismantle and do permanent fastening back into position. I'm going to be using more glue and liquid nails at all of these connections and the seams where it sits. And how we did this is we actually attached these rails, this here, to the wall pieces while it was still laying flat on the other side of the shop over here. So when we put it in place, we could just set it on the floor like this and not have to try to hold everything. We'll just set it here, and I put a couple clamps on this. And right now there's 2 screws up underneath, one on each end, and of course this angle piece holding it. And then up front there I did put a couple pocket hole screws in the top just to hold that front panel on so it wouldn't fall while we weren't working on it. But those will be taken back out, and we'll disassemble this thing and then reassemble it in a permanent fashion. And then we'll move on to some of the inside stuff. I'm going to do the roof last on this, so I have all kinds of lighting in here while I'm building all of these other things, or as much as I can. At some point I'm gonna have to put the roof on for certain things, but I can do like the floor cutouts, I can do some of the walls back here, the door cutouts for both sides, and all of that before we put the ceiling / roof on, so we can see a lot better. But there it is, and I'll back up so you can see what it looks like. It is, we haven't decided on an angle in the back yet, or an angle up from the bottom. I think we're just going to leave it squared off just like this, but that's what it's going to look like. I might put some false panels down here to give it more of a fender look on each side of the wheel, but I won't drop below that bottom plywood there because that's the base of our unit, and I want to keep plenty of ground clearance. But I think it would look a little nice if we actually had, you know, kind of like little flares on each side, failing pieces or something like that. I don't know. And then we're going to undercoat. Now, all that's been painted underneath there, but I'm going to rubberize undercoat the hole underneath where the wheel is and the tire where stuff's going to be spinning up. I do have the hitch just temporarily in place. It's not even bolted, as well as the jack crank there, which is just bolted. I'm going to be welding that. As you can see, it's not straight. I just did that so I can move it around a little bit in the shop here. Plus, I'm not sure if I can use that because it's slightly longer than the space I have available for it to fold up when it's not in use. The wheel hits the cross member there, or if I move it forward, it would be up into the ball area and cause problems for the pivoting. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to handle that yet. I even talked about cutting the wheel off of this and just putting a foot, and that would shop, you know, like a plate instead of a wheel, because I really don't need to roll it too much, and you can pick it up if you have to. That would shorten it up enough that then the piece would fold up and be out of the way, and not hit where it hits. So anyway, that's it. Well, it's a wide angle shot there. That's what it's looking like at the moment. Sorry I didn't show you some of the process. Tracy and I were both out here yesterday, taking a lot of time on that further piece there with all the measurements, and I wrote all over it so we can duplicate all of that onto this panel when we get ready to do the door, the walls, and all of that stuff on the interior. So yeah, just it was a busy day yesterday. I'm going to tinker with it a little bit today. But then after that, you won't be able to see from here, but my brother took down a few trees way over beyond all this stuff here, and this afternoon we're gonna get those trees cleaned up. So that's our day for today. But anyway, that's just a little update on this tiny trailer build. Hope you like it. Please comment, ask any questions you want. We're just kind of doing this as we go and seeing how it all turns out. All right. Thanks for swinging by. Life, the Wild Ride. We'll see you in the next video.